in Rajasthan is scary to say the least. It's a place where shops were burnt, bikes and cars were broken, stones and bricks were scattered across tiny lanes in the Hathras Bazaar of Rajasthan's Karauli. On Saturday, a violent mob ran riot in the area near a junction that connected 3 lanes. Yesterday, we exposed the complicity of the police in Rajasthan when rioters swarmed the narrow lanes of Karauli. But the expose doesn't stop there. Today, we are going to show you the proof of planning and conspiracy. On your screens is proof of how this clash was anything but spontaneous. At the house of Matloob Ahmed, a politician and independent corporator who got the support of the Congress party and now supports the Congress government, a stockpile of sticks, stones and bricks were found on his rooftop. Before the violence broke out, there was a plan where in the surrounding houses, on the roofs, all of these weapons were stockpiled. The biggest one, of course, was at the house of Matloob Ahmed himself. My colleague Bhavar actually reported from the spot when the commandos of the Rajasthan police finally woke up to what was happening. They raided his house, they went in, and look at what they found there.
करौली सांप्रदायिक हिंसा मामले को लेकर के लगातार पुलिस प्रयास कर रही है उन लोगों को ट्रेस आउट करने का जिन लोगों के ऊपर आरोप है, खासतौर पर मतलूब अहमद जिसका घर यहीं पास में है, वहां ये पुलिस का पूरा जत्था जो है पहुंचा है उनको अरेस्ट करने के लिए। अभी एक मकान से, इस वाले मकान से मैं दिखाने की कोशिश करूं, इस वाले मकान से वहां लाठियां बरामद हुई है बहुत सारी, जिसको पुलिस ने अपने साथ रखा है। तमाम अधिकारी यहां पर हैं, कमांडोज स्पेशल यहां पर हैं, स्पेशल टीम पुलिस की जो है वो यहां पर है और कोशिश की जा रही है कि जल्द से जल्द आरोपियों की गिरफ्तारी हो। फिलहाल जगह जगह पुलिस रेड कर रही है। अब ये कारवां आगे बढ़ेगा, आगे जब ये जाएंगे तो और भी जगहों पर दबिश दी जाने की संभावनाएं हैं। टीम लगातार आगे बढ़ रही है और अब आप सिर्फ और सिर्फ टाइम्स नाउ नव भारत पर देख पा रहे हैं कि किस तरह से लगातार पुलिस दबिश दे रही है। ये तस्वीर हटवाड़ा रोड इलाके की है जहां पर पत्थरबाजी हुई थी, उसी इलाके की जहां पर बहुत सारी गाड़ियां तोड़ दी गई थी, पत्थर बरसे थे, ईंटें बरसी थी, लाठी डंडे बरसे थे। और ये तस्वीर टाइम्स नाउ नव भारत पर एक्सक्लूसिव दबिश देते हुए पुलिस की टीम निकलते हुए, देखिए ये जो डंडे लेके जा रहे हैं यही डंडे वहां उस छत से बरामद हुए हैं जो हम आपको तस्वीरों में दिखा रहे हैं। ये पुलिस की टीम है और अधिकारी अभी दूसरी तरफ सर्चिंग के लिए गए हुए हैं। लगातार दबिश दी जा रही है करौली का वही हटवाड़ा इलाका। और देखिए वहां मैं आपको दिखाना चाहूंगा, वहां आईपीएस अधिकारी जो हैं उधर देखिए वो वहां उस मस्जिद के ठीक पास में वो लोग सर्चिंग कर रहे हैं, देख रहे हैं, जांच कर रहे हैं। संजीव नार्जरी वहां पर हैं जो आईपीएस हैं।
Now, why this is particularly eerie is because there are clear similarities to what happened just 2 years ago in Delhi. The 2020 Northeast Delhi riots. A similar stockpile, remember, was recovered from the residence. In fact, the rooftop of corporator Tahir Hussain. Back then also, there was a politician right in the midst of this conspiracy. And now in Karauli as well, there is a councillor who backs the Congress government. So in Delhi, there was Tahir Hussain. And it's Matloob Ahmed in Karauli. Was the intention the same? To set Karauli, to set Rajasthan on fire? And if yes, then why did the police, why did the government first not wake up to the conspiracy and then, when the riots had taken place, try to pass it off, try to palm it off on right-wing groups trying to fuel hate?
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Shazia Almi, national spokesperson of the BJP, continues with us. We are joined by leader of the Congress, Lokesh Jindal, political analyst Gokul Chandran and Tehseen Poonawala. Lokesh Jindal, ताहिर हुसैन ने जो दिल्ली में किया, मतलूब अहमद करौली में कर रहे थे और फिर भी मुख्यमंत्री कहते हैं कि ये तो बीजेपी हिंसा भड़का रही है। अगर बीजेपी हिंसा भड़का रही थी तो मतलूब अहमद की छत पर डंडे और पत्थर किसने रखे?
Good evening, Padmaja. Before we begin this particular discussion, I would say that unless we Indians awake soon to this extent and pervasiveness of our radicalism, our society would be devoured by our own antipathy. And antipathy towards the concerns of the vulnerable minorities and antipathy towards the poverty of the majority and an antipathy for the political and civil rights of the masses. Now when this Karauli incidents happen, you are simply training the guns on Congress, but you forget that it was the BJP Jaipur mayor, Rajaram, her husband, Rajaram Gujar, who is one of the prime accused in this entire Karauli violence.
I am very glad you brought up Rajaram Gujar. Now let me actually tell you, where is Rajaram Gujar? Just a second, sir, just a second. Let me actually tell you where Rajaram Gujar comes in, because I won't allow you to divert the debate. Viewers, here are the facts of the case against Rajaram Gujar. Rajaram Gujar's motorcycle was found parked in the lane where the riots happened. He has said that he participated in the Shobha Yatra. When the stone... Why are you heckling me, sir? Don't worry. I have done my full research. I know who Rajaram Gujar is and I know why he's named. Now let me tell the viewers, because I won't allow you to derail the debate. Now let me tell you about Rajaram Gujar. Rajaram Gujar is the husband of the Jaipur mayor. Rajaram Gujar, can I please have the volume down for a second? Let's lay out the facts. Rajaram Gujar's motorcycle was parked in the same lane. He says he was participating in the Shobha Yatra. At the time when the stone pelting started, he abandoned his bike and ran away. Now the police recovered the bike, saw the number plate and booked Rajaram Gujar, who had been pelted with stones, as an accused in the stone pelting. He was hit by the stones and he has now been booked as the accused of stone pelting. That's as far as Rajaram Gujar is concerned. Here's the thing. Rajaram Gujar's bike was found there. By all means, not just book him. Mr. Jindal, jail him. Just answer my question. Matloob Ahmed ki chhat par dande aur patthar किस लिए रखे थे? Is that also protecting his rights? मतलूब अहमद की छत पर डंडे और पत्थर क्यों रखे थे? जस्ट आंसर माय क्वेश्चन।
मुझे आप ये बात बताइए कि राजाराम गुजर की जो बाइक वहां पर क्या कर रही थी?
अरे
अगर राजाराम गुजर वहां पर खुद चलाकर नहीं है तो राजाराम गुजर की वहां बाइक क्या कर रही थी? आप मुझे ये बता दीजिए प्लीज, प्लीज टेल मी।
अरे
राजाराम गुजर वाज प्रेजेंट।
आई एम अग्रीइंग विद यू, राजाराम गुजर इज एन अक्यूज्ड, जेल हिम।
द लाठीज दे विल स्पीक ऑन देयर ओन।
व्हाट वाज अ स्टॉकपाइल? Let me show you the pictures again. Let's go back to the pictures. छत के ऊपर ईंटें रखे हुए हैं. There are stacks of bricks kept on his rooftop. There are sacks of bricks kept on his rooftop. There are at least 3 dozen lathis which are found on his rooftop.
And I congratulate you.
What was he doing with lathis,
because you have done
sacks of bricks and loads of bricks on his rooftop? मतलूब अहमद की छत पर bricks क्यों रखी थी? Just answer me that.
Model to be implemented elsewhere. They want all form of communalization to take place. The entire idea of India to get disrupted.
Sir,
that is why you are simply...
I don't know what your idea of India is, but apparently, Shazi Almi, Mr. Jindal's idea of India is where you are free, where the mind is free and the head is held high and you can stock dozens of bricks on your rooftop. I mean, what kind of an India are we living in where you can't even keep a few lathis on your rooftop, Shazi Almi? What is happening to the idea of India?
Exactly, the idea of India, you know, the same old debate about minority rights, majoritarianism, fascism, civil rights. It all comes to a knot, right? When it comes to talking about a state like Rajasthan and the law and order, because it's being run by a government which is not BJP, by a party which is that of the so-called secular party. So if the rioters are allowed to go absconding, scot-free, nobody should talk about it. Because there is, you know, because you're supposed to protect them. I just find it so hypocritical and
have
sad.
Been made till date.
I mean, you know, really, it's so shameful.
Thank you.
It is so shameful. It is so shameful that all these big words that are used all the time, you know, this woke semantics of this world, they just don't mean anything to these people who just use them so liberally. by these illiberal fascists when it comes to their own state, where they're supposed to be the vanguard of law and order.
Thank you.
So
why
I find them so hypocritical, and it's very shameful.
Hypocritical to hide behind idea of India when essentially it is just an issue, Tehseen Poonawala, of why a man was stocking bricks and rods in his house. And the same bricks, by the way, I want to show those two pictures side by side.
Sure.
Take a look at what happened on Saturday, where people are running around carrying those sticks. And those very same sticks today have been discovered from the house of Matloob Ahmed. How? How, Tehseen Poonawala?
Thank you so much for having me on the show. Good evening to all my fellow panelists and to all your viewers. 2 or 3 quick points I'll make, and I'll be very brief in my points. First, this Ahmed chap, if he was involved in violence, which I don't deny the Times Now report because he's the accused in the FIR, that goes on to prove that despite him being a Congress supporter, Congress has not just booked him, it has allowed Times Now Navbharat to come and carry out this investigation transparently, unlike Hathras, where your media people were blocked, your phones were tapped, and Adityanath and the DGP Uttar Pradesh went against the media. So the Congress has nothing to hide. It's in fact proved that investigations are transparent. In the same FIR, not just Rajaram Gujar, who like Pragya Thakur found his motorcycle there. I don't know how these BJP terrorists always find it motorcycles everywhere where there's a riot or bomb blast, and then they get Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. But also there is Neeru Shukla, the leader of the RSS. Neeru Shukla is also booked. So like I said yesterday, I repeat, and I will end my point here, Padmaja. The RSS and its supporters are involved in riots everywhere in this country where there's a riot on the other side of the riot. I'm not denying Ahmed's role, but I'm saying the other side is RSS everywhere, whether it's West Bengal, Kerala, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, everywhere. Now,
let me say at the outset,
one line. I just have one line.
If Rajaram Gujar has to be arrested, so be it. If Neeru Shukla has to be arrested, so be it. Answer me this. What did Matloob Ahmed have bricks on his roof for?
Matloob Ahmed, and I'm telling you this, record this and play it. This is the government of Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi, Ashok Gehlot. Matloob Ahmed will be arrested.
But the riots have happened. The riots have happened.
You asked me a
when
question.
Matloob Ahmed was putting these sacks on his rooftop, why did the police not know, sir? The police did not wake up before the riots. And it's been 5 days. You have got some Mr. Shukla and some Mr. Gujar identified, but Matloob Ahmed is nowhere to be found. Where the hell is this man?
Where Matloob Ahmed is the same place where the coward Neeru Shukla is hiding, the RSS Pracharak. But please allow me to finish. Very important. Please
Just a second. The question is not about whether Neeru Shukla should be arrested. Arrest all of them. Arrest the whole lot. My point is that when the riots happened, just a second, you seem to have more confidence.
I'm answering your question.
You seem to have more confidence right now in the Rajasthan government and more confidence in the culpability of Matloob Ahmed than the Chief Minister. Because when the Chief Minister was asked about the reason for the riots, he said it is because the BJP workers came here, they provoked violence, they are playing songs on DJ and slogans in procession, after which riots were sparked.
Now, please
he had nothing to do with Matloob Ahmed. He said BJP दंगे करा रही है. छत पर Matloob Ahmed के bricks रखे हैं, but दंगे BJP करा रही है. Unless of course BJP and Rajaram Gujar went and stacked these bricks on Matloob Ahmed's chat.
Okay, now I want to answer you. Please don't interrupt me. I understood your question. We just went through it again. But please, there are 2 separate questions you've said. Number one, and I admit completely with you, I am on record admitting that, okay, there's an intelligence failure, stones and bricks and whatever found in this Ahmed guy's roof. By the same logic, by your logic, Padmaja, if this intelligence failure leads to Ashok Gehlot and Rajasthan police, by the same logic, because bricks, acid were found in Tahir Hussein's terrace, why has Amit Shah not resigned? He was the
I am not asking
now
for Ashok Gehlot's resignation.
Don't interrupt me.
But you are not answering my question. My question to you was that Matloob Ahmed had these things in his house, but Ashok Gehlot said BJP is the one जो दंगे करा रही है. ताहिर हुसैन के केस में nobody said कि छत पर ताहिर हुसैन के मोलोटॉव कॉकटेल है पर दंगे कांग्रेस करा रही है. Nobody said that.
No,
Tahir Hussain had stuff discovered. Tahir Hussain was taken to jail.
I understood. First of all, Padmaja, you're wrong. Factually wrong. The
How?
BJP is I'll answer each one, but you cannot interrupt me because then I break the flow.
Yes.
You asked me two questions. The first point, if it's an intelligence failure that leads to Ashok Gehlot, is an intelligence failure that leads to...
It is not intelligence failure. I'm saying he's not even recognizing it.
Okay. Second,
he is not even saying that Matloob Ahmed or anyone else is involved. He straight away said BJP ne dange karaye.
Okay. Now to the second point. So we agree, neither Amit Shah nor Ashok Gehlot.
First of all, okay, since we are so specific, do you agree that Mr. Gehlot was wrong when he said कि बीजेपी ने दंगे कराए?
No, he's not. I'm trying to answer it, but you're interrupting me.
अरे, you are accepting that Matloob Ahmed ने दंगे कराए.
I am answering your question, but you're interrupting me. Please hear me out. The first part was the intelligence failure, which I answered.
I am not even questioning intelligence failure.
So you fail.
That is not my question. My question is, dange kisne karaye?
I cannot debate. You continue, or are you here?
But you are not answering my question.
But I am. You have to hear me.
I am asking you your name. You are telling me your age. I am asking you simply, who started the riots?
The BJP. Ashok Gehlot is right. Now I'm answering you. Hear me out. Hear me out. I'm answering you. Hear me out. Padmaja, in the first segment that I answered to you, and I'm telling you...
How much will you lie?
I cannot debate this way. I'll keep quiet. And now she will interrupt me.
And how many times do you think you'll get away with it?
Because you don't want the viewers to hear the truth.
No, that is not the question. I'm saying it's Shazia.
You talk.
It's Shazia.
Now you talk. I know
it is not Padmaja.
Don't allow me to talk. Fine, you don't want to be...
Okay, Shazia Almi, let him finish. He has now, Tehseen has now come to the point where BJP started the riots, even though Matloob Ahmed may have stockpiled weapons. How?
Yes.
Let's try and understand.
Yes. Because in every single riot in this country, from the 1984 Sikh riots to 2002 Gujarat genocide, to every single riot, including Muzaffarnagar, the BJP and RSS are on the other side of the riots, including killing of Sikhs. Including killing of Sikhs in 84, the RSS were involved. Including killing of Sikhs. The RSS is involved in every single riot. Now, how did the weapons reach there? Here's my answer.
So you still haven't explained to me the very complex equation of, let's assume, let's assume here is the equation. Here is the roof of Matloob Ahmed. It has sacks of bricks and sticks. The same sticks that are found here on the streets where people are being attacked. But in your scheme of things, the BJP is provoking riots.
Yes.
By planting bricks on Matloob Ahmed's roof?
No, the BJP was carrying petrol bombs out there. This is the intelligence report. The BJP supporters were carrying petrol bombs.
Interesting.
And how?
Shazia
and one more thing.
So the BJP provoked. I don't know where you got this intelligence report of petrol bombs. Let me actually quote to you another report. If you don't believe us, okay, first respond, Shazia.
Why is the BJP involved in every riot? Answer that, Shazia. Muzaffarnagar, 2002 Gujarat, 84 riots. Kerala
I don't think I should dignify that.
You just said the BJP was involved in 84 riots. I mean, I don't even know where to get started. Sajjan Kumar, Jagdish Titler.
RSS was involved.
Okay, never mind.
And the RSS agent involved in 84.
Anyhow, let's not go down that road. Shazia
All of them were done by
Shazia Almi, explain to us this conundrum. Matloob Ahmed, sticks and stones, but BJP is sparking riots.
Absolutely.
Explain.
RSS.
Explain, Shazia Almi.
Yes, so I think BJP has some kind of strange power that whether it's Tahir Hussain in Delhi or Matloob Hussain there, it gets into it works like some kind of through some clairvoyance or some special voodoo craft. It makes them do things, it gets into their bodies and minds and make them do things. And that's how it engineers and crafts this. So I think it's a lot of bunkum that has been said on this channel, and I don't think it's serious. You're repeating yourself, Tehseen, and it doesn't sound very good.
This is bunkum, Gokul Chandran. Let me now quote to you. Let me quote to you from a report of Dainik Bhaskar. First, I have shown you evidence on camera here of sticks on roof and sticks in hand. Now, it gets even more chilling. दैनिक भास्कर रिपोर्ट says 2020 में हुए दिल्ली दंगों की तर्ज पर शनिवार को राजस्थान के करौली में हुआ उपद्रव पहले से प्लान्ड था. छतों से सैकड़ों टन, several tons of bricks, लाठीज, सरिये, चाकू की बरामदगी इसकी गवाही दे रहे हैं. Then it goes on to quote a man, VP Sharma, who says that I was in the crowd. Suddenly, I had huge boulders almost being thrown on me. I got scared. I was hit. I started bleeding. हर तरफ अफरा तफरी मच गई. लोग जान बचाने के लिए इधर-उधर भागने लगे. इतने में कुछ नकाबपोश लोग हाथों में तलवार, सरिये और चाकू लेके आए. पीछे से एक आदमी ने मुझे मारा. इतना खून बहा कि मैं बेहोश हो गया. This man, this eyewitness goes a step further and says, the moment people started raining stones on us, somebody came behind and stabbed me. I suppose it must have been Shazia Ilmi because the BJP did the riots, right? Gokul Chandra?
Yeah, good evening everyone. Most of the points have been covered by Mr. Jindal and Tehseen, and I support what they have said. And in addition to that, you asked repeatedly why the bricks were found at his roof. What if he says, I kept the bricks to build a bathroom, additional bathroom in my terrace, and
Right.
I kept the poles to build a shamiana for my birthday party.
Right.
So keeping bricks and poles
So
in a
here's
terrace is not a crime.
that's lovely. That's a very brave and valiant attempt. So these bricks were found on at least 4 or 5 houses. ऐसा क्या हो रहा था वहां पे that everyone was doing a सामूहिक शामियाना? Everyone thought that at the beginning of, Navratri, let us all build a little shaમિयाना with these rods. And what do you suppose the daggers were there for? To cut onions
So
in those shaમિयाnas.
Still are you finding daggers over there? So you mean to say...
There is a man who has just said that masked men came into the crowd and stabbed me from the back. What were they stabbing him from? Because they didn't like the shamiana he built? Let's not be ridiculous, Mr. Chandran.
Miss Padmaja, did you ask any Muslim people about what happened? Did you take their version? Did you ask them what really happened there?
Well, we would love to know Matloob Ahmad's version. Only problem is he is absconding for 5 days. We would love to know Matloob Ahmad's version, the man on whose rooftop this entire stockpile has been found. But Matloob Ahmad, I'm sure because he's innocent, has gone missing.
When every other newspaper and TV channels have reported the truth, that how BJP and RSS instigated the riot, you never reported that. You are running this...
Sir, what do you decide what the truth is? You are a person who's sitting on national TV and saying that sticks and bricks are kept for building shamianas, and you are giving me gyan on what the truth is. You are sitting here giving a ridiculous explanation, and you expect me to listen to your unsolicited advice of what the truth is.
You should do that. It is not advice.
You don't get to decide the truth, sir. If you are trying to pass off stockpile of bricks on people's rooftop as shamiana infrastructure, then I'm sorry, I will take your advice with that same sack of salt, that same sack on which the bricks are kept. But go on, explain this, Shazia Ilmi.
In your channel, you are repeatedly running this story and instigating communalism.
My friend, no, do not worry. If to state the truth is to instigate, then you cannot shut up people just by saying, oh, you are talking about this because you are instigating. So, somebody keeps rods, they keep it for shamiana. But somebody shows those rods, that is instigation. That is very rich, sir. Shazia Ilmi.
I think, sir, you are instigating.
No, Shazia.
No, I think it's the other way around. You are instigating people against the BJP. No, I'm asking you, sir, why are you instigating people and presuming it's the BJP doing it when there have been a collection of daggers and bricks found at a place on the similar lines as the Delhi riots? Why would you want to jump to conclusions and also find excuses? No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, sir. I'm not such a... It doesn't matter which media reports what. But I'm asking you a very basic question. I mean, just because you have bias against a party, would you just jump to a conclusion as serious as this, as sinister as this?
No, Shazia, tell me, it is your party which...
And let the actual writers get scot-free.
Yeah, Shazia,
how does it matter if the Muslims are Hindus? They're working against the country and against the citizen.
And just by the way, sir, in case you think that to show Matloob's house, is to instigate anyone, then the number one instigator in Rajasthan is the Rajasthan police, which has booked him as prime accused and has accused him of writing an attempt to murder and is going around raiding his house, looking for him, recovering all of the things that he had kept in his house. So before we jump to try and label people and try and paint them as some kind of instigators, let's get our facts right. If there was an attempt to try and create a Delhi-like situation in Rajasthan, the government must answer about why they kept silent and they tried to cover up. Thanks very much, all gentlemen, Shazia Almi, for joining me.